Good evening and welcome to Argo Live. This is Argo Live for June 9th. June 9th. Yeah, that's next month. For June 11th, 2026. I am Captain Dave Rowe aboard my lovely vessel Stinkpot here, and I am joined by, of course, Argo's founder, Captain Jeff, in an undisclosed location in Ocean City, Maryland. What's the zip code there, Jeff? How's the weather?
I am right on the water in Ocean City, and the weather is beautiful. This weekend is an air show. They were out practicing this morning, so yeah, taking a week off with the family, but can't take off, for Argo Live. It's got to go. So I'm here.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen. And speaking of got to happen, we've got Nick Gaffney, founder of Spot On Fishing, and a recent addition to Argo back in December. Spot On became part of Argo, for those that didn't catch on. And Nick, how's it going? How are you feeling?
Great. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Feeling good. Enjoying this nice Florida weather. It's boating season.
It is boating season. Is it boating season in Florida too? I mean, that sounds like like
year-round
punishment, man.
Yeah.
Also joining us this evening is Darren Austin, up in the Pacific Northwest. He is with Envoy, or On Buoy, I guess is how you. I'm from Maine, so I say boy.
No, it's definitely there's definitely two ways to pronounce it, and both are correct. And half of my friends pronounce it one way, and half of them pronounce it the other way. But yeah,
so which one of your friends? Which of your friends do you like better?
I'm going to reserve that a little bit. It's a family. It's a family. What can I say?
Gotcha. So. Darren is a problem solver, I'm told, and he saw finding places to tie up boats as a problem to be solved. And is Envoy doing that for you? What tell us about it?
Yeah. Well, so unlike Nick in Florida, our boating season up here in the Pacific Northwest is considerably shorter. So we've got marinas and places all around the Puget Sound in beautiful spots, truly some of the best boating up here. But marinas get really full in the peak season. And so I've spent too many hours trolling around a marina looking for a place to stop in. And while I'm doing that, it's not uncommon to look over the coastline and see moorages as far as the eye can see. Half of them are empty. And I always wondered, why there's no way to ask permission of one of the owners. Just connect with them and say, hey, can I tie up? I'm going to be here for the afternoon, or I want to stop overnight and I don't want to be near the marina or whatever. Happy to buy you a bottle of wine, or tip you a little something with Venmo as a thank you. And there's also no way to know whether they were properly maintained. And so this problem occurred to me many years ago, and I spent about 3 years noodling it, and then waited for my next midlife crisis to decide that I was going to quit my job at Microsoft and go pursue this thing full time. So I've been doing that for about 3 years.
Oh, cool! So you're helping people find docks and buoys, or buoys. All right.
It seemed like a better way to do a midlife crisis than buying a Corvette, but it turned out to be not as inexpensive as I thought.
I understand that. And somebody else who understands that very well is Captain Jeff, because I think Argo is sort of the quintessential midlife crisis. Wouldn't you say, Jeff?
Yeah, it may have been my second or third midlife crisis, but like Darren, I felt like there was a problem to be solved, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying making it the very best navigation app we can, and bringing Darren and On Buoy into Argo and integrating that has been one more step in that direction. He'll be our third integration. We brought DocShare in a few years ago, Slip Resi just this past year, and now we're really pleased to bring On Buoy in. And although Darren's in the Pacific Northwest, he's got docks and mooring buoys in multiple places throughout the country.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, we're expanding. That's for sure. We had a lot of interest. We got written up in the Boat US magazine last year, and my email started blowing up from people in New England and Florida and California saying, "When are you coming to the markets?" And so we just kicked that off at the beginning of this season. So we started getting a few hosts, and we're excited to be moving into these other markets.
Yeah. So
Well, we kind of
Darren
buried
has,
the lead. I was just going to say here, we kind of buried the lead here because normally what we would do at this point in this get together is discuss what's new in Argo, and I think we just sort of mentioned one of the things. So
on
let's do
buoy
what's
is
new in Argo.
on buoy is it's half baked at this point. Actually, we just released it on the web app tonight, and probably the next release for the mobile version, the phone, the tablet, we'll have on buoy integrated there too. But right now, it's in the web app. Darren has his own app where you can find and get to more information about these, and then either check in, or if it's a if it's a paid mooring, you can rent it for the afternoon or the weekend. But what Argo, then the integration, what it does, it makes it much more easy for you to find all of these docks, whether they be free docks, paid docks, or and moorings, both free moorings and paid moorings. And he's got over 300. And he was just telling me needs to get an update our way. He's got many more that have been added, but
Yeah.
you can when you're if you can search specifically for on buoy docks and
Yeah,
moorings.
there you go.
And there's an example of one of the docks in North Carolina, but you can see there's a button there for on buoy, and that'll take you to his website, and from there you
Yeah,
can
we're
check in, you can get more information.
yeah,
I
we're
just want
still
to
adding
point
some
out
of those
that
photos.
that's the dock I'm on right now, and I have nothing to
Oh,
do with
really?
this.
Dude, dang,
No kidding.
I need
Yeah,
your
there he
help
is.
getting some photos, man. I need your help getting photos of all these public docks. That's awesome.
I'm here right now, so ring me up. I'll get you whatever you need.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, I'll also say that when if somebody in our app is made a reservation and they're going to whatever moorage that they've reserved, because we're a bit like Airbnb in that regard. We also have the public moorages and stuff. But if somebody's got a reservation with a private owner or something and they're going someplace, we've got literally a button in the On Buoy app that just launches Argo. So you can launch straight into Argo, navigate there. You don't have to worry about it. We truly love the Argo experience. We were really excited to be working with you guys.
Awesome.
So
And
Nick,
I probably should hang this out here for the viewers we have right now. If anybody has any questions, any comments, feel free to drop those comments in, and we'll try to get you into the discussion here. But I don't want to derail this discussion at all. So let's wait for some comments there. And Jeff, you were just speaking to Nick.
well, I
so
was just going to
let's-
say, while we're talking on buoy, Nick, if you could go into the search window and then search categories and search on free docks, or I think it's dock up under the places.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right there, you see dock,
Yep.
you can click on.
We had it. Okay. There we go. Right here, free docs.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of small there, but there should be, and I don't see any offhand, but there. Okay, those little on buoy icons on the right, that's an indication right there that those results are are part of on buoy. So if you pull any of those up, you'll see the on buoy button, and it'll take you there.
Nice.
So, and you get
This
the same
is
thing whether
something
you're
that we,
searching for.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, you get the same thing if you're searching for a dock or searching for a mooring buoy. If there's a link to on buoy, you'll see it right in the search results.
Very cool, guys.
And I saved mine to my favorites, so you'll see it right here at the top bar. So I can just go ahead and click on buoy, and it's there.
All right.
Nice, nice.
Very cool.
While you're here
It's
on
in
the
there.
web, yeah, I was going to say, while you're here on the web app, this was a real focus of the last month. We added the weather information up there on the right. You can see the little weather widget that gives you the current weather, wind, and next high or low tide. And you tap on that, you'll get same thing you would get on the well, Nick's playing around with the overlay there, but I was talking to the weather widget, which is right above it. Yeah, there you can get the current, hourly, as well as a 7-day forecast, not only weather, wind, but also wave height, wave period, and all the tidal information. So that's now available not only in your mobile app, but also on the web app. So when you're planning, you get all that same information. And I know Nick's super excited about the overlay. He couldn't help himself. He jumped right on that.
Those overlays are so sexy. They really are. You guys did such a good job with those.
Yeah, there we see he's got the rain set up.
The
there.
radar, yeah.
Radar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like
you
I
can
said,
just click right over to your wind or your lightning radar.
There you go.
Nice.
Is that supposed to be here? Holy crap.
I was going to ask the question.
It
I was
looks
going to
like
say,
you got something coming your way there.
Is something coming?
if
that
you're
you
going to
there,
look at
Dave?
lightning, you got to look at Tampa. That's where they get all the lightning, right?
Yeah, that looks like a good storm there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is getting dark, so I probably shouldn't be too surprised, but
So
Oh,
that's
man.
very exciting when it comes to our web app. The web app's always been trailing in terms of feature set from our mobile app, but we've been catching up real well in terms of routing and now wind, weather, tides, currents. You can get all that on the web app.
what else is new this month, Jeff?
Yeah, I was just going to jump right into that. But one of the big things we've been focusing on, particularly if you have a tablet, we've always just projected the phone onto the tablet, but we've been spending a lot of time with the UI on the tablet, so it takes advantage of all the space that you have on a tablet. So you're going to see some changes. It's actually been a lot of changes, a lot of screens that we've been implementing a much improved UI on the tablets. Unfortunately, because a change like that affects everything in the app, including your phone, we have had some bugs this past week or so, particularly on Android devices, but we've been cleaning that up. And we've still got more that we're doing in terms of the tablet. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see more screens that start to look a lot like this new UI that we've integrated. So check that out. Give us some feedback. I guess I consider it still kind of in beta because we just released it, but we're looking for feedback on what everyone thinks about the new tablet UI that we've put out. So,
I think it's sweet. I've been using it now for a good solid week, maybe week and a half. And I have to tell you, the ability that the new tablet UI gives me to actually do things without leaving the chart. I think that's the big thing. On the phone, of course, showing anything, it's a small screen. You get options, they take over the screen. Then you just make your choices, and then you look at the chart. But the ability on the tablet to actually have both of those things going on at the same time is not to be understated. I think we're getting some amazing stuff happening with this new UI. And I didn't mean to derail the conversation, Jeff. That's just my opinion. Keep doing
that. Dave very seldomly uses his phone with any navigation app. He's always on tablets. So,
Never.
This was.
The phone is only to solve arguments and bars. That's the only reason to ever use a navigation app on a phone. Period.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the phone and the tablet, and the core feature of Argo, that's your charts, that's your routing, and we've been making improvements there as well. We have optimized the routing so it's even faster than ever now, particularly when it comes to longer routes. We've expanded the map area, particularly for and I'll throw this out. Robert Ewens is really high on Argo. If you don't know Robert, he was on our show a couple months back. He's planning to do the Great Loop once again, break his previous record of 19 days in a John boat. So he's planning that in July, and he's been talking to us about what we can do to help him. He just absolutely loves the routing, loves Argo. One thing he wanted was to take an image of the entire Great Loop, and our map wouldn't quite show it on one screen. So we made the, and it's got a little bit of a globe effect now, so you can see the entire Great Loop, and you'll see some of Robert's posts that he's showing his track that is, or his route that he's going to be taking. So faster routing, we've been adding more depth to lakes. We've improved the channel routing as well. And you're going to can see more and more improved water coverage. In the next couple of weeks, we're working on the Lake Erie. So you can go from one end to the other, complete depth coverage. We're working on
Erie
Canada.
Canal.
Yeah.
Erie Canal, right?
Erie
Yeah.
Canal. What did I say?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie. Thank you for the correction. Yes, Erie Canal. We're also going to do a lot better job in Canada. Long time coming, but we're going to be adding more and more depth data into important routes like the Trent Severn, the Rideau River, some of the smaller lakes. So that's something we're going to be focusing on pretty heavily over the next month. Other neat features, I thought it was a pretty cool one. Our search, of course, does restaurants, anchorages, marinas, boat ramps, but it now does navigation aids, including tide and current stations, mile markers, buoys, beacons. You know, anything in your search, you can search specifically on those. So if you're looking for a specific mile marker, you want to route to it, you can now search for it, find it, and easily get there from wherever you may be. So that's kind of a neat feature to check out. The other thing you'll probably notice is improved ability to see other boaters on the map. That's been hit or miss over the last couple of years, but we've really improved and optimized the ability to see fellow boaters, ambassadors like Robert Ewan, so you'll very easily be able to see him when he's going to do this event of his. You can also find your friends, club members, things like that. So check that out. It's much improved from what we had before.
It's been a big month.
What's that?
I said it's been a big month.
It was a big month. It was a
You
big
guys
month.
are busy.
Another thing I guess I should tell you we're focusing on is offline capability, and this is an ongoing effort. One of the things we're going to do very soon is right now you can download routes so that they're available in offline. Real soon here, all of your saved routes and tracks are just going to be available offline. You won't have to download them. They'll automatically be downloaded onto your device when you save them. So you won't have to worry about that.
That's great.
Also been doing a lot with, yes.
I was just going to say we probably should define offline for people. Just some people don't, you know, if they've been using Argo for a while, they may not know that term necessarily. So offline is the ability to actually literally be offline and still use Argo. So if you're in an area where you don't have cell coverage, you don't have Starlink on the boat, these sorts of things, your charts will be available. You can download them in advance, or you can have Argo auto download them as you move. And that really does help keep the pressure off as you are going through those types of areas. Sorry, Jeff, I didn't mean to derail that, but I thought it was.
Yes, that's offline, being able to use the app without internet. And in order to do that, you need charts. So you need to make sure to download them before you go. And you can download them in our standard map view with the color shading. You can also download the NOAA ENC or now the NOAA RNC, which works very well, very fast. So if you're looking for something that downloads fast and a large area, you know, try the NOAA ENC or the NOAA RNC. But they all work. If you want the depth shading, the contours that you've customized, in the standard map, you can download that as well. But so you have options.
Right, right. Nick, we were talking a few minutes ago about Spot On, and I think now would be a great time to actually have a Spot On update if you have a moment to dedicate it to it.
Yeah, definitely. We've been making a lot of changes over at Spot On, but fortunately, as we work alongside Argo and we improve water coverage and lakes, that also means improvements for our users on Spot On. So
now, what is water coverage? Because Jeff said that earlier, and I just want to make sure everyone understands what that concept is.
So water coverage means areas that you can navigable waters. For us, it's a little bit different on Spot On. It might be a small pond, whereas for Argo, it's areas that we're navigating. But the primary thing that we're able to focus on over here is new lakes, new areas that are offshore, inshore, and as we put that together, we're going to see hundreds of new lakes being added to the Canadian region on Argo here shortly. And on top of that, we have Lake Hartwell. Recently, we had a request that went through that the routing was changing. So we actually took the time to go through and not just improve the routing, but really improve the coverage throughout the lake. So now Hartwell has great detail in there. You can use it for your navigation in Argo. You could use it to find structure and Spot On. And it's, that's been a huge improvement on both ends for us. So very soon
Awesome.
We will have my favorite piece coming up, which is a fish forecasting tool, which is now designed to show you not just a when, where, and why, but it's really scientific. So we're going to be the first app that's really visualizing the thermocline layer, showing you where the scattered layer is. So if you're doing daytime sword fishing, or you're going big game fishing, or just bottom fishing, reef fishing, whatever it might be, you're now able to visualize the current at different layers and temperatures. And we're really excited about that.
We're talking about temperatures at certain depths, right? So that's
Exactly.
what the thermocline is?
You'll be able to visualize the surface temperature, and then you're going to see that all the way down to the seafloor. So the difference in between there is where the current changes, is what the difference is the shear. And that kind of creates a trap for the nutrients and more or less a highway of baits. So now these big game fishermen in Costa Rica, Guatemala, throughout the Gulf are really going to have a special tool to use. So I think we're looking at about next week for that. So stay tuned. That's exciting.
That's great stuff.
That's huge.
All right.
Yeah. So
that's
for people that don't
go ahead,
know,
Jeff.
People that don't know Spot On, it's obviously it's a fishing app. AI, I was out looking the other day. AI says that Spot On has the #1 relief shading of any app out there. So for those fishermen that are looking for super detailed relief shading, structures, holes, things like that, Spot On has really done a good job with that. With Argo, he's been able to integrate routing. So he's now got routing integrated in Spot On. And like he said, the next big thing is the fishing forecast, which really innovative, I think, what you're going to see there.
Definitely.
I can't wait to see this.
That sounds really cool. The whole thing, like I've gone fishing a few times. I'm not what you would call an avid fisherman, but I think it's fascinating what you guys are doing with Spot On. It got me wondering, with fishing competitions, is Spot On considered appropriate to use? Because man, it sounds like you guys are making it really easy to find the fish.
Yeah, that's it, right? We want to give you the tools to succeed, and it almost feels like cheating at times, but at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of nerds that like data science. That's all it is. We create a fun tool.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. Well, go ahead.
I was hoping maybe we had some questions coming in here.
Well, we have somebody who's apologized for being late joining us, and I accept their apology. But I haven't. Well, you know what? Asking ye shall receive. For some reason, heading line never seems to save to the on position when opening the app. I think same with heading up navigation. So that's a concern, I guess. What say you, Jeff?
Well, two things there. Heading line, it's possible that that is not persisting when you close the app. I can check on that. Yeah, it could be that goes off when you close, and then you've got to turn that back on. But we could look into fixing that. The other aspect, I guess, of the question was the heading up navigation or course up. There is something under settings that allows you to set that so that it's permanently we'll open with that on, but you've got to go into, I think, navigation settings and toggle that on.
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Now you got to check.
I gotta check.
I know. I just pulled it up. I'm like, ooh, I'm looking.
Yeah, we had a user that was very interested in that a little while back. So navigation settings, auto course up. But that's auto course up. Yeah. Let me see.
This is gripping
Yeah.
viewing right here.
Yeah. That will automatically switch the map orientation to north up. I mean, from north up to course up when you start recording a track or start a trip. But I thought we set something up where it would open course up.
I thought it was in there too. Maybe we broke it. We've done a lot lately. Argo has.
Well, I think he's
has
referring to the auto. Oh yeah, was that auto heading line? Auto heading up. If you tap your compass on the screen, it will put you into the heading up mode. So the compass returns you from north up to heading up. So that's a one-touch option, if that's what you're referring to. And it should save that setting, but we'll go back and make sure that it's properly saving across all devices.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we've put off the inevitable long enough. I think we really should let Darren talk for some serious moments about what Envoy does for all of us. And I'm speaking as somebody. I'm a full-time cruiser. And I really cannot wait until there's a lot more Envoy hits around me. And I know I'm tied to one right now, but talk about your product a little bit, Darren, and fill everybody in.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. I can't wait till we see more and more hosts show up all over the country. Interesting. I kind of shared a little bit at the beginning of the call that, what got me inspired to try to solve this problem is, why isn't there a way for me to connect with the shoreline property owners and ask permission and help them offset their maintenance and stuff? And so as I started getting into this, one of the things I noticed is in the Pacific Northwest, we've got a lot of sensitive nearshore habitats. So we've got eelgrass and bull kelp, and those are all spawning beds for our salmon population. And so anchors that's a part of boating. You got to have an anchor, and sometimes you have to anchor. But if you don't have to anchor, or if you have an option to anchor offshore a little bit, or if you have an option to tie something up, you can avoid that anchor drop. And anyway, I started looking into this, and the more I looked into it, the more I realized that we're actually doing a really good thing for the environment. If we can open up a swath of safe moorage that is owned by fellow boaters and shoreline property owners that keep their equipment maintained and they document the maintenance and everything, we can avoid these anchor drops in these sensitive areas. So what got me really inspired by it was this idea that it's a win-win-win. It's a win for the boating community because anytime we have access to more safe, inspected and maintained moorage, that's a good thing because it opens up
Right.
more places for us to go explore. I mean, if you go and look at a map, I have this this map that I show sometimes where it shows all of the marinas in the Puget Sound, and then I hit a button and it shows all of the moorages, and we've got plenty of marinas up and down Puget Sound. But if you go and look at where all the moorages are, there's zillions of them all over the place. So these are all little coves. These are private little coves and protected areas. Wonderful for fishing in a lot of cases. Some of them are just great for a quiet evening. We've got wildlife and orca whales and all kinds of things. Sea lions are becoming an issue at my local marina here. But this idea that we can open up all this additional, safe moorage for boaters is a great thing. And then giving somebody that has a moorage, I can't tell you how many of our hosts have said, you know what, we've been boaters all of our lives. We're getting a little old now, so we don't boat quite as much as we used to. But we've got this moorage, either it's a private dock or it's a buoy, and we maintain it. And we'd really love to let the community utilize it. There's never really been a way for us to do that. And so,
Right.
it helps the boaters, it helps the property owners. And as I started looking into this, I realized, wow, we're doing a good thing for the environment too. So I really get inspired by these win-win-win scenarios. And I'm particularly excited about what we can do in places like the Florida Keys that have
Hmm.
moorings all through that area. And also just very, very sensitive habitats with coral reefs. There's a lot of areas that are no anchor zones. A
Right.
no anchor zone with no place to tie up is essentially a no trespassing sign. It's a do not come here sign. But if we can
Right.
these are beautiful places, and boaters are environmentalists too. We want the ocean to be healthy. And so if we can take some of these areas that are seemingly off limits because they're sensitive and we don't want anchors, if we can open some of these areas up for people to enjoy them in a really safe, responsible way, we're doing something great for the community overall. And so that was, one of the things that's inspired me by it.
But let me ask you this, because
Yeah,
I'm sitting here on a 25-ton vessel.
yeah,
Uh, if I were to pick up a mooring ball out of Envoy,
yeah,
uh, how can I be assured that the tackle would be sufficient for this vessel? Is that type of
yeah.
stuff listed in there?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So what Envoy requires that every host that come in and want to list their mooring on the site, we actually require that they submit an inspection report within the last year. So every mooring in the system is actually inspected about I give them a little bit of a fuzzy, I say every year, but it's about every 13 months because sometimes the inspectors they have to worry about
Right.
weather and scheduling and stuff. So every one of them is really just well maintained and regularly maintained. And that's really important because, you could find a place to tie up to, but if you can't trust it, if you literally don't know what's at the other end of that float, you're kind of taking your life in your own hands in a lot of respects because that thing could be rusted out or whatever. So trust is really what we focus on in terms of our community and making sure that if you're a boater, you see an on buoy moorage, you can trust that owner is actually keeping it well maintained. Now, that's not a guarantee. We all know that on the water, all bets are off in a lot of cases. You get wind, you get tides, you get all kinds of things. But anything we can do to give peace of mind to the boaters and
Right.
establish trust is really where we spend a lot of our time. But yeah,
Now,
that's a great question.
does part of the certification process involve also uh, qualifying the mooring for, say, boats of a certain size or above or below a certain size? Because I owned a mooring for a time, so
Yeah.
I'm coming into this with a little bit of information, probably
Yes.
not enough. But my mooring at the time was okay. It was sufficient for the 38-foot boat that I put on it. But if I put
Yeah.
this 44-foot boat that weighs twice as much dry as that 38-foot
Yeah.
boat did, uh, it would be a mismatch, and I'd drag that sucker all over the place.
Yeah, I think that's
Is that part
exactly
of the
right.
qualification? Yeah,
Yeah, so every one of these inspections, the inspector, these are not just visual inspections or cleaning inspections, these are structural inspections. So this is literally diving down to the seabed,
so we
inspecting
know
the
if it's
chain
five
and the midline
sixteenths
flow.
chain or
We
three
know all of
eighths.
that.
Or
Yeah.
okay,
Now, each one of the morages is listed at a rating for a vessel of length overall, which
okay,
is not it's not perfect, but that's about as universal as we can get in terms of rating it. Um,
totally.
but we start there, and we don't let anybody that's got a 50-footer try to reserve anything that is lower than that capacity. But we
Right.
also we facilitate this communication between the host and the guest. And we see guests all the time. We see boaters say, "Hey, I've got a 37 footer, but my tonnage is actually quite a bit, heavier than normal. Do you think this is going to be okay?" And a lot of times the host will come back and say, "Oh yeah, we've actually got a helical screw down there. We've got, the chain that is reinforced, and I kept my vessel on there that was this tonnage." That sort of communication back and forth is what makes, I think, what we're trying to do here really, really different, really special.
That is special. That is special. I mean, just the idea that you can connect the right boats with the right moorings, that's
Yeah,
huge, and I said earlier, I'm from Maine, where, picking up a mooring is sort of a rite of passage.
yeah,
It's sort of a unique area in that way. And, if somebody comes along and says, "Hey, that's my mooring," you drop it, you let them have it,
yeah.
but,
Hey, and
but,
that's exactly right. I think that's one of the things that we talk about when we communicate with our members in the on buoy community is, benefit of the doubt. You know what? Everybody's done something boneheaded on the water or in life, and if we can all give ourselves a little grace, and say, "You know what? I don't think he meant to be a jerk about it. I'm going to pretend that, for just a minute here, he just made an honest mistake, and no big deal, and move along."
right.
And I think that's part of what makes a community kind of function, is that
That's
sort of
awesome.
benefit of the doubt. There is one other thing I wanted to talk about too that I'm really, really excited about. We just rolled this feature out, and it is for public mortgages, because we have a lot of those free docks and public mortgages on the site. If it's all right, will you guys care if I share my screen real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll try to get you in.
All right, I will show you guys something that I'm pretty jazzed about. So with the public mortgages, tell me when this is coming through.
We
It looks
got
like
you.
it might be coming through. Yeah, so with the public mortgages, one of the things that is a real problem in our neck of the woods up here is the season gets busy, everybody's out on the water, and we've got a network of state parks moorings that are islands. We have islands all through the Puget Sound, and the Washington State's Park Department actually has several hundred moorings that are available, and they're first come, first serve. They cost a little bit to tie up overnight, but the problem is you never know what's occupied and what's not occupied. So we launched a feature just this last week. It's available on the web, and it's coming to an iPhone app soon, where any logged in member can actually mark a mooring as occupied or not. So for example, I've got this pulled up here. These green pin drops are these public moorages. I can literally go to this Blake Island 11, let's say. I can click check in, and I can report to the rest of the community that I'm going to be here for a quick stop, 4 hours. Maybe I'm going to be overnight, or I'm going to be here for the weekend, let's say. And I can report it whether it's my boat on there or whether it's another boat. I'm reporting for somebody else. So let's say it happens to be another boat. I don't know the name. No big deal. I think they're probably here for a quick stop. So I literally can confirm that check-in, and our service will go and make sure that you're near that location. You're within like half a kilometer, and it'll mark that moorage as occupied for that period of time. So now, if I'm setting out on a trip, I can actually, when enough of our community members start to report the availability, we've effectively got this sort of live occupancy map of these public moorages out there. And so we've got that enabled now for all of the intercoastal waterways free docks all around Florida and all the way up the eastern seaboard, and as well as all of the public moorages that we've got in the Pacific Northwest, and we're adding a few down in California as well. So I'm pretty excited
Just
about
amazing.
this being a new feature where the community helps the community. I really love this idea of boaters helping boaters, and I think this is one of those areas we can contribute.
Oh, and that's what Argo is all about too. So
Yeah.
I think that what we have here is sort of an excellent marriage of some very wonderful apps just doing some wonderful things together. Jeff, do you have any thoughts or questions for Darren before we start to wrap this up?
No, ran into Darren 3 years ago at the Seattle show, and really impressed with what he's doing, and glad to finally see it integrated into Argo and see where he's going with it. So.
Well, thank you. We're really honored to be working with you guys. It was really, you guys have done an exceptional job with the Argo app. I've just started getting a little bit into Spot On. So Nick, my compliments to you as well on the work you guys have done. We're just really thrilled to be working with you guys.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you. And it's wonderful. So right now, I should say this, Envoy has been integrated with Argo's web app, which you can get to from our website, argonav.io. And it's going to be coming to the mobile app very soon, right, Jeff? We're in the process
of the next release should have it in there. Yes.
That's awesome. So,
I'm
Darren,
excited.
thank you very much for joining us tonight. We do this thing every month on the second Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And that means that the next time we get together, Jeff and Nick will be on July 9th. Do we know who's joining us on July 9th yet, Jeff? Or
got some ideas, but I'm not.
Nothing hard, huh?
Nothing hard yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We didn't have a lot of questions, which is probably a good thing because we had a lot to talk about. But generally speaking, this is an excellent time for your questions as well. You can ask us what's going on with Argo. You can bring concerns or thoughts or feature requests. It's all fair game right here on Argo Live every week on the second Thursday. And I want to thank everybody for joining us, including Darren, Jeff, Nick, and on behalf of everyone and myself, thank you and good night. We will see you next month on July 9th.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Bye.